Hello and welcome. If you're a library or information science professional trying to get a handle on the mountains of data your library generates every single day, well, you are definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to demystify big data and show you how to turn all that information into your library's superpower. Okay, let's dive right in.
Here's what we've got on tap. We'll kick things off at the basics, what big data actually is. Then we'll get into its core characteristics, the famous 4 Vs. After that, we'll walk through the technical side of things, check out the different types of data you'll run into, and then get to the really good stuff, how this applies to your library. And finally, we'll wrap up by weighing the pros and cons to give you the full picture.
All right, first things first, what are we really talking about when we use the term big data? Let's get a nice, clear definition on the table. At its heart, big data is really just collections of information that are so huge and so complex that your everyday software, like a spreadsheet or even your library's main system, just can't keep up. We're talking about a scale that needs totally different, specialized tools to capture, store, and make sense of it all.
And this data, it's being created all around us, all the time. Just think about it. Every single click, like, and share on social media. The logs from your library's website. Data from smart sensors, online checkouts, and even huge public records like census data. It's basically a massive, ever-growing ocean of information from countless different streams.
But here's the thing you absolutely have to remember. Big data isn't just about being, big. It's a very specific combination of traits that makes it both a huge challenge and a massive opportunity. We call these the 4 Vs, and understanding them is really the key to unlocking the power of your data. Okay, so let's break down each of these Vs one by one. Think of them as the 4 dimensions you need to consider whenever you're working with data on this scale.
First up, we have volume. This is the one everybody thinks of first. We're talking about an absolutely incredible amount of data. Not just gigabytes, but terabytes, petabytes, and even more. It's just the sheer mind-boggling quantity of information being pumped out constantly.
Next up is velocity. This is all about the incredible speed that data is created, and more importantly, the speed at which it needs to be processed. If you're tracking e-resource usage during finals week, you need those insights now, not a month from now. The data is moving at lightning speed, and we have to be able to keep up with it. Then there's variety. See, big data is rarely neat and tidy. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes it's structured, like a nice, clean table from your circulation system. But a lot of the time, it's totally unstructured. Think social media comments, scanned historical photos, or even videos from a library event. This variety makes it super rich, but also really complex to analyze. And finally, we have veracity. This one is so important. It's all about the quality and trustworthiness of your data. I mean, with information flying in from so many different places, how can you be sure it's accurate? Veracity is about dealing with the messiness, the typos, the duplicates, the missing info, and making sure your data is clean enough to actually trust for making big decisions. Some people even add a 5th V here, and I think it's the most important one, value. This is the so what of it all. The whole point isn't just to collect a ton of data, it's to turn that massive, fast-moving, varied, and often messy information into something truly valuable, insights you can actually act on to make your library better. So, we get what big data is now, but how do we actually, handle it? How does it get from out there in the world to an insight on your screen? That process is called the big data pipeline. It really boils down to 3 main stages. First, you have to collect the data from all those different sources. Simple enough. Then you need somewhere to put it, a storage system that can handle the massive volume and variety. And finally, you have to process it to pull out those valuable insights we just talked about. And for each stage, there are specialized tools. For collection, you might use things called APIs to pull data from other systems. For storage, you'll hear terms like data lakes or cloud platforms like Amazon Web Services. And for processing, you've got tools like Hadoop for big batch jobs and Spark for real-time stuff. Now, the good news for libraries, you don't need a giant server farm in your basement anymore. Accessible cloud tools are making all of this way more possible for everyone. A minute ago, we talked about variety as one of the Vs. Let's dig into that a little bit more and look at the 3 main ingredients that make up big data. It really comes in 3 flavors. First, you have structured data. This is the neat stuff, organized perfectly in tables like your library's circulation records.
Then you've got semi-structured data, which is a bit more flexible. Think of metadata for a digital photo. But honestly, most of the world's data is unstructured. Raw text from a user review, a scanned document, a video. There's no predefined model. It's just stuff. And this is where it gets super relevant for you. So much of the really rich, valuable information in a library's universe is unstructured. We're talking digitized archives, community feedback on social media, academic papers. The big challenge and the huge opportunity is figuring out how to pull real meaning out of all that messy, text-heavy data. All right, now we're at the heart of it. We've covered the what and the how. Now let's talk about the why. How can libraries actually use all this stuff to make a real difference? Okay, the possibilities here are seriously cool. With user analytics, you can go way beyond just checkout numbers. Imagine seeing which parts of the library are busiest and when, so you can optimize staffing. Or for personalized recommendations, think about systems that suggest a new author a patron might love, just like Netflix does. You can use predictive analytics to manage your collection, making sure you have the right books on the shelf before the demand even hits. For your digital archives, you can make huge collections instantly searchable. And for research support, you can help scholars map out entire fields of study. It's powerful stuff. Of course, like any powerful new tool, getting started with big data projects comes with some amazing benefits, but also some very real challenges. It's important to look at both sides of the coin here. On the one hand, the benefits are huge, making truly data-driven decisions, offering amazing personalized services, and even saving money. But on the other hand, the challenges are real too. There can be costs involved, though the cloud helps. Data privacy and ethics are absolutely critical. You're the guardian of your community's data. You'll probably need some new skills on your team, and you always have to be vigilant about data quality. It's a balancing act, for sure. So, what's the takeaway? The absolute best advice is this. Don't try to boil the ocean. Start small. Find one specific problem you want to solve. Maybe it's just understanding your ebook usage better. Run a small pilot project, use some of those accessible cloud tools, and make sure you have crystal clear ethical privacy rules right from day one. Focus on getting a clear win to show the value and build from there. And there you have it. We have covered a lot of ground today. We started with the simple definition of big data. We unpacked the 4 V's that define it. We followed the data pipeline from start to finish. We saw some amazing real-world uses for libraries. And we ended with a realistic look at the pros and cons. So we'll leave you with this one final thought. Now that you have a solid understanding of the what, the how, and the why of big data, the really exciting question isn't for us to answer, it's for you. How will you use data to innovate, to better serve your community, and to shape the future of your library?